Steve Evans, first of all, the news last night of the sign of David Amoo. What can you tell us about him?
Well, David was with us for around, coming and trained with us for 7 to 10 days. And then he had a few days to go to consider his options. He had 3 in League Two, 1 in League One. Location played a big part. David being North London. And of course, he had an outstanding season at Port Vale last year. When he, spoke to Darryl Clark 3-4 weeks ago. Darryl was very complimentary. So he was very, very unlucky not to get something there. And David started around 15, 16 games for Port Vale last season. Used as an introductory substitute in a lot of games. Helped him win a lot of points. Go through in a lot of cup ties. Exceptional pace. Can play wide on the right, wide on the left. Can play through the middle as a striker, not 1 or 2. And he's done very well. So it was getting easier to try and propose something. And of course, as everyone knows, I caught up with the chairman on Saturday to go through some final bits and pieces, and the chairman, thankfully, was ticked the box, and we were able to get it done very quickly.
You said he's been training with us for a few days now. Does that mean he goes straight into the squad for tonight's game?
Yeah, of course. He'll be in the squad. We've always said we have to sign players that can play a part. And we understand he's going to need some games. He's going to need some minutes. But we've got a wonderful opportunity in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We've got the Carabao tonight, and then we've got the Papa John's games coming up. And that gives us a real opportunity to be able to play him in good competitive games against good opposition, but at the same time working on his fitness, and getting his minutes up to speed alongside the rest of the group.
Yeah, the fixture schedule is still quite relentless at the moment. Is it going to be another case of rotation tonight, or you surprised everyone keeping the same 11 on Saturday?
No, we'll make lots of changes tonight. Not because it weakens the group. We've always said it. We don't have a best 11 at Stevenage Football Club. We have 18 players. David Amoo makes it 19. It's great, isn't it? But if you consider, Danny Rose and Nos get little knocks on Saturday, we're probably at 17, so 16. So with it, David. So from that point of view, we make changes, but it's a great game. It's good opposition. Grant made changes. I think they made 7 or 8 when they went down to Plymouth and still win very comfortably. So it's got the makings of a good game, and both managers looking for players to step up and compete to be in the starting 11 for the first time.
Obviously, Peterborough United, a club you know very well. We seem to play them every other week at the moment. But what are you expecting to see from them tonight?
I'm expecting to give Darren McCanty an invoice because I see him that often there. He likes me. In all seriousness, I'm expecting to see a number of good players. I think they've got 8 or 9 who'll start today who could comfortably play for them on Saturday. And Grant wouldn't lose a wink of sleep. He would be very comfortable. So I think it's the strongest posh squad I've seen in about 6 years. And I think ultimate credit goes to Darren McAntony and Jason and Randy's 2 fellow owners, and of course Barry Fry, who pulls it all together. And I know from speaking to Grant, he's privately and publicly delighted with his group. But so are we. So we're expected to be competitive. But, as everyone knows, when I arrive at the ground this afternoon, then I want to go through in the cap. And I want to beat Peterborough, despite my love and affinity for them and all my wife's family being from around the city, then I still want to beat them.
And in front of the home supporters again, and it's a good opportunity to get into round 3 and potentially get one of the big boys in the Premier League.
Yeah, they're always nice days to have, but we know what our focus is. Our focus is league fixtures. That will always be the case. We have a mandate to improve significantly from where we've been the last 4 or 5 years. But you can't take away the fact that whoever wins tonight will be in that draw tomorrow night and include the giants of English football, and we all want to put our wits as head coaches and managers and as players against the elite in the Premier League that we see on the television several times a week now. So from that point of view, the prize is a nice one. But at the same token, if I've got 6 priorities sitting here this morning when I woke up, then it doesn't fit the top 6, but it will come kick-off.
And just how, in terms of the squad, you still after those 2 or 3 more? Now, David Amoo's come in, but it's a week or so until the transfer window closes. Any update with that?
Yeah, so we're close on a couple. I met one yesterday, travelled to the training ground to Leon and Alex Ravel to have a chat with the boy and their manager. I spent some time with him. We're in the mix with 3 or 4 clubs for each services, but we'll see where it goes. And we're certainly in the mix for one other, whether we can get the deal done at the level it needs to be. We'll ultimately lie with our chairman, but we're trying our best to make it happen. Listen, if we don't, and we will sign a player, so I'm sure, but if we don't sign a player, Alfie, with David coming in and the balance we got within the group, we're good to go to January for sure. There's no one here sitting saying to the chairman, we must do this and we must do that. I think if you said that to Phil Wallace, you go the opposite way anyway. But our chairman said to me on Saturday, let's do what we need to do. But let's do it. We have a very realistic approach and a mindset to the resources that are available. And we're going to do that. We've no excuses at our football club. The infrastructure is great. The training facilities are championship standard by far. And we've got a real good group with some real big characters that want to win football matches and they want to live properly and do it right. And that means a lot.
That's great. Thank you, Gaffer.